Hey, Sarah. I'll just give it another minute or so and see if we have any others before I kick things off.
Right on. Good morning.
Hey, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start since we're at time. So welcome. This is the April 13th, 2022 AMA about GitLab releases and deployments. So I'm expecting this one to be a little bit of a quiet week. We have a few people out on PTO around Easter time, but I am very glad to see some faces. So welcome. Does anybody have a question they would like to verbalize? In which case, I'm actually going to take advantage, Sarah, of you being a keen person. I'm super interested in, as a front-end developer at GitLab, what is your experience of deployments? Like, how does the process work for you? Like, I'm going to just say here, we are very aware this is not a perfect process and we're doing a lot of work to improve things. So please give us your honest view.
Sure. I mean, to be honest, this is my 11th day at GitLab, so I don't know anything at all and was just curious about the topic, so I showed
Awesome.
up. I got
Great.
nothing.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to GitLab. So as you get to know things, or if you have any questions, then we are here to help with deployments and releases. So come and give us a shout. And if you have feedback as well, we're also especially keen to hear that. You may not get the experience quite so much, but we did just roll out a change, which I believe the impact is bigger for front-end developers. We've just reordered the deployment pipeline. And so we have introduced a new staging canary stage into the pipeline, and changes that were previously tested on our staging environment should now all be tested on the staging canary. So this is a new shift that I think people are probably still getting used to, but definitely it's an impact that's a little bigger for front end, who tend to have more changes that need checking on these on their staging environments. Awesome. Does anybody else have a question they would like to verbalize?
I do have a question, Amy.
Great.
Hi, everyone. I don't think I know any of you. Like personally, I'm Hayana Verissimo. I'm a product design manager for the release stage here at GitLab. And currently I am the UX DRI, so the product design DRI for the release team. And actually one of the things I'm working on right now is a solution validation for the environments page redesign. I've seen that we made a couple of changes there and we got some feedback from customers about the usability and also about a couple of things that we changed in the UI that might have impacted the workflow and their tasks. So my question is more like a request. So I'm linking here in the doc the research issue that I have. Trying to interview at least 5 users to get feedback on the environments page, right? So the deployments view. So my request is, if anyone here would like to participate to be interviewed to check the usability right for that page, please let me know or react on that issue so that I can schedule calls, because we're getting feedback from external customers, also enterprise customers, but also want to hear from the experts, right? What they think of the changes, but also how these changes have impacted your daily tasks here at GitLab.
Awesome. I'd love to take part. That would be super. This is a page which is not something we tend to use in delivery at the moment. But that's not because we don't have a need. We certainly do have a need. We've just kind of worked around it a little bit. And we actually, on Friday, I was covering release management, and as she was looking up something, I thought, if only if only I could have got this from the environments page, but I know because of some existing bugs and sort of design things, I wasn't going to be able to. And I ended up going through a sort of long and non-fun route via a lot of Slack messages to find the information I need. So yeah, I'm super excited to see improvements coming into the environments page.
Awesome. Thank you, Emmy. And if anyone else would like to participate, I'll reach out to you, Emily. Emmy, in private, so that we can maybe schedule something. And I'll drop here also in the doc the plan for the environments page, like the iteration plan and also the improvements that we have planned.
Great stuff.
For the usability of that page.
Awesome, great. I'm super excited by the improvements that have come in so far. So yeah, great work. Awesome. Does anybody else have a question they would like to verbalize?
I'll verbalize it. I had a chance to write it down, but the announcements channel has some really cool threads every time some deployment goes out, and it has threads that chime onto that stuff. And I'm just wondering, that's a really cool functionality. It's like, how do we make that accessible more to like other people trying to do similar things?
What sort of things do you think are making it sort of not accessible? Like, is it just it's
well, no, I'm saying like in terms of like, I think it's a custom script that we built.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then like speaking about the environments page, if we could make that more integrated where like a deployment goes on environment and gets updated in Slack and all the kind of niceties that you have would be really cool, right? Because right now you're doing a lot of cool stuff, but it's kind of like really only for GitLab.com. So I'm just trying to think about, is there a way to integrate that into kind of like GitLab product itself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're absolutely working to try and do this. So releases are kind of our main buddy team that we're working with at the moment to try and I spend a lot of time with product manager Chris for release, and we're going through kind of how we're doing deployments and releases at the moment. And what we're trying to sort of get to is, at the moment we have, this is kind of the bigger picture, I'll come to your specifics in a second, Slan, but the bigger is that we have sort of deployments for GitLab are like the biggest and most complicated, partly through just historical, we've been sort of building on this for years, and partly because some of our use cases are more complicated. Some of the tools and processes in the product are more MVP. So we're trying to pull those together and sort of meet those into the middle. But yeah, the threaded comments on Slack are super cool. They're brand new. Ruben just rolled those out last week. We want to extend them already, but yeah, it'd be a great one. I don't know how. Is there a good place that we kind of put those sort of more generic? Like, I suppose they're not specifically like a single stage group owns this thing, maybe, but like, is there somewhere where we go with those sorts of improvements?
I think Stan is asking, how can we pull the logic that we've created out and maybe
put
make
it in a
shareable
project
with inside of GitLab, right?
But
yeah, it's the same idea. It's like if I were to like deploy like my own application, I would love to have that kind of thing and not have to build a whole separate tool, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like we need to deconstruct parts of release tools and shove it into our product in some way, shape, or form, which could be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to do with like deployments and releases, like absolutely. I think that's very much what sort of release are working with us to get to. Probably the smaller, more generic one, like ChatOps is a continual question mark, right? Like we use it quite a lot. It's not in the product and it hasn't been, I guess like it's not been deemed worthy enough of having it sort of a project built, like a team built around it. So those ones get a little bit lost. So yeah, if there is a way we can kind of take the small pieces and slide them in, then let us know. For the bigger ones, I'm hoping that the work we're doing with release will at least start to move the bigger tools inside the product.
But even with ChatOps, there's some basic stuff that is really useful. Like, for example, looking up the user, doing some basic user administration stuff. I could see that being like just immensely useful to people in general too.
Yeah, it's certainly useful. It doesn't, I guess it hasn't fitted so far in with the product roadmap. So like, I think that's the main thing, is trying to prioritize those things against other things has so far not been done.
Hey there, no direct questions from me. I'm in my third week and just saw this on my calendar and just wanted to come check it out. So I'm just here to listen.
Awesome. Welcome. Oh, it's great to see so many new faces. I suppose actually something, so you've, when you're onboarding as a engineer, like have you shipped code out to production yet? Like, I'm not sure at what stage you actually get hands-on and do that.
So I'm not an engineer, I'm not shipping code. I just am very, very curious about the process, about
awesome.
how we ship code, because I'm new to GitLab as a product. And so I just wanted to see how we iterate and develop it.
Awesome. Let me share you there. So we have sort of two processes that run in parallel. So they are documented separately. So they are tied together, which is why they're all on the same page. So we deploy changes to gitlab.com first, and then for the 22nd, all changes that have successfully gone to .com get packaged up for our self-managed users. So there's a lot more detail on there about sort of specifics of depending on what type of release you're following along with, but generally the day-to-day we're pushing changes to .com, and then at various points in the month we're doing the packaged releases. Awesome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to verbalize? No, in which case, thank you all for joining. Welcome to all the new people, lots of new faces today. And as you sort of do go further down onboarding and start sort of getting involved in releases and deployments, no matter whether you're an engineer or not, you'll certainly see all of these happening. Like, feel free to drop by and ask us questions if anything's not clear. Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.